Hi students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Your English teacher Ismail Shah is back with the grammar lesson. In today's grammar lesson, I'm going to teach you all the past perfect continuous tense. Okay, the past perfect continuous tense is used to express an action that was in progress before another action in the past. Now, this tense is a little difficult to understand, but don't worry, I will teach in a fun and an easy method for you. By the end of today's video, you will have a better understanding of how and when to use past perfect continuous tense. Now, before watching this clip, if you're new here, so don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Let's get on the first usage of the past perfect continuous tense. This tense is used to express an action that was in progress before another action in the past. Let's take a look at the affirmative form of the past perfect continuous tense. So, he had been studying English for 2 years before he went to Peshawar. Now, I started this sentence with the subject he, and then I added here an auxiliary verb had been. It's because there's a single auxiliary verb in this tense, and that's had been. It doesn't matter what the subject is. You have to put had been after subject. So, I started this sentence with the subject he, and then I added here an auxiliary verb had been, and then present participle form of the verb study, studying. Okay, it means that in an affirmative form of the past perfect continuous, you have to start a sentence with the subject and then helping verb had been and then present participle form of the verb. Okay, so I added here present participle form of the verb study, studying English for 2 years before he went to Peshawar. So I added here the word before and then past simple tense he went to Peshawar. It's because, as I told before in my definition of past perfect continuous tense, that this tense is used to express an action that was in progress before another action in the past. So, before plus past simple tense. Now, he had been studying English for 2 years before he went to Peshawar. Before another action in the past, before he went to Peshawar. Later action, past simple tense. I added here the word before. Don't forget to put here a word before. So, he had been studying English for 2 years before he went to Peshawar. The next sentence, I started with the subject I, and then I added here an auxiliary verb had been, and then present participle form of the verb run, running. I had been running for an hour or for 1 hour before I got tired. Once again, I added here a verb before, and in past simple tense, I got tired. So, I had been running for an hour before I got tired. Finally, they had been going there since morning. I started this sentence with the subject they, and then had been helping verb, very simple, and then present participle form of the verb go, going. So, that had been going since morning, there since morning. So, this was the first usage of the past perfect continuous tense. Now, you know the second usage and the next usage is, we can also use the past perfect continuous tense to show the cause of an action or situation in the past. Let's understand this with the help of examples. The road was wet because it had been raining. Now, why the road was wet? Here's a cause. Because it had been raining. Don't forget to put here the word because. Okay? The road was wet because it had been raining. Why the road was wet? Because it had been raining. Here's the cause. As I told, that we can also use the past perfect tense to show the cause of an action or situation in the past. Finally, the teacher was angry. The teacher was angry. Why the teacher was angry? Because they had been making mistakes. His students had been making mistakes. Why he was angry? Why the teacher was angry? Because they had been making mistakes. So this is the second usage of the past perfect continuous tense. It means that we can also use past perfect continuous tense to show the cause of an action or situation in the past. So these were the two uses. Now, you must have to learn how to make a negative form of the past perfect continuous tense. Here it is. I started this sentence with the subject she, and then I added here the word had. Not had been, had, only had. And then I added here the not. Okay? Not. And then been. It means that had been should be divided, and the middle I have added here the word not. So, I divided these two words and I added not in the middle of these two words, had not been. In affirmative sentences, in positive sentences, I was adding here had been, and negative sentences, I just did I added here not in the middle of these two words. Had not been, had not been, had not been. She had not been, verb ing, present participle form of the verb. She had not been cooking the meal. She had not been cooking the meal. She had not been going there. She had not been playing the soccer. So, I had not been attending the class. They had not been learning English. So, it means that we have to add not in the middle of these two words. Had been, had not been. You can also use the contraction of these two words. Had not, hadn't. Hadn't. She hadn't been cooking the meal. She hadn't been cooking the meal for some days. They hadn't been playing cricket since morning. So, had not can also be hadn't. So, the next sentence, I started this with the subject they and then had, and then once again I added here not. After had, before been. After had, before been. So, they had not been eating the meal. They had not been learning English. They had not been watching this video. They had not been listening carefully. So, it means that once again I added here not after had, before been. So, had not been. Okay? So, this was the negative form. Still, if you have any problem, you can comment. Okay? How to make an interrogative form of the past perfect continuous tense? Very simple, very easy. As I told in my previous videos that you have to bring only helping verb at the beginning of the sentence to make a sentence an interrogative sentence. For example, I just brought here helping verb had at the beginning of this sentence. I started this sentence with the helping verb had. So, the helping verb of this tense is had been. I brought only had at the beginning of the sentence. Been should be at itself place. So, I brought had at the beginning, and then I started this sentence with the helping verb had, and then subject, and then been, and then present participle form of the verb. Had, subject, been, present participle form of the verb. Had they been going to Peshawar? Had they been going to Peshawar? Had I been learning English? At the end of all interrogative sentences, you don't have to forget, sign of interrogation. You must have to put sign of interrogation at the end of all interrogative sentences. Sign of interrogation. Had I been going there? Sign of interrogation. Had I been learning English? Sign of interrogation. Okay? Had she been cooking the meal? Had she been washing the clothes for some days? Had she been washing the clothes since morning? So it means that we have to bring had at the beginning of the sentences to make sentences interrogative sentences. Just only bring had at the beginning. Not had been, just only had. Been should be at self place. Had should be brought at the beginning of the sentences. Got it? So this was, how to make an interrogative form. Now, you must have to learn how to make negative and interrogative form. As I told in my previous videos, and previous tenses, that you have to put not after subject, directly after subject. Had plus subject plus not plus been plus present participle form of the verb. It means that had plus subject plus not plus been plus present participle form of the verb, and then further sentence. So, had I not been learning English? Had I not been watching this video? Had I not been learning past perfect continuous tense? So, this is the way how to make negative and interrogative form. Just put not after subject. You have to start a sentence with the helping verb, then subject, then not, then been, and then present participle form of the verb. Finally, you have to learn how to make a WH question sentences. Okay, WH question sentence is very simple. You have to add only WH word at the beginning of interrogative sentences to make a sentence double interrogative. For example, WH word plus had. Now this is a sentence of an interrogative. Had she been going there? Had she been watching this video for 10 minutes? So now this is an interrogative sentence. Just add here WH word at the beginning of an interrogative sentence to make a sentence a double interrogative sentence. A sentence of WH question sentence. Now, had she been going there? Had she been going to Peshawar for 10 days? Had she been going to Peshawar for 2 years? Now, why had she been going to Peshawar for 2 years? Why had she been going to Peshawar for 2 years? Or where had she been going? Where has she been going? So these are the sentences of double interrogative structure. I mean of double H question sentences. Just you have to add double H at the beginning of sentence, and then interrogative sentence to make a sentence double interrogative. An interrogative structure, I mean in interrogative form, negative and interrogative, or in double H question sentences, you have to put sign of interrogation at the end of the sentence. Okay, and so this is the way how to make these forms. Still, if you have any problem, you can comment. I will guide you there. Okay. So this was today's lesson. I hope that you got it and you enjoyed it. Still, if you have any problem, you can comment. I'm going to make a move.